cat smarts.
I'm okay. Hi guys, welcome to Big Life Reviews, Amazon Vine Edition. I'm LitlJay. When I was growing up, we had Himalayan cats. And for those of you who don't know, Himalayans have a lot of really long fur, and gobs of it get everywhere that they live, and especially anywhere they lay. My parents owned the original Dirt Devil handheld, and I'm sure you've heard of Dirt Devil vacuums, but this was the original Dirt Devil, was this little handheld that the company cut their teeth making. It had a little beater brush. It was great for cleaning up all this cat hair, dog hair, whatever, places that it was impractical to lift a full-sized vacuum cleaner. It was just a million times better than a dustbuster. Some years later, I married a long-haired teacup chihuahua named Pico that came with a beautiful woman. He's since passed on, and now I'm a single dad, but that's not important. His hair was as much of a nuisance as the cat's hair was. So I knew exactly what to tell my in-laws when they asked what I wanted for our first Christmas after the wedding. A Dirt Devil. They had no idea what that was, so I explained it to them, and they went straight out and bought me a gadget called the RhinoVac 800, which was only made and sold for one holiday season at Home Depot. It had a few nifty attachments, and it worked about as well as a dustbuster, actually. It was no match for all of Pico's hair. That's why I had asked for a Dirt Devil. The hose and attachments could be connected to the output of the vacuum, though, and that made it extraordinarily useful as a blower for cleaning computers, which I've been working on professionally for decades. I know how hard computers can be to clean sometimes, especially if somebody's been smoking around them. That RhinoVac made a great blower for years and years. But it finally got long in the tooth, and I had to retire it recently. Santa Claus brought me a battery-operated Milwaukee M12 spot blower this past Christmas. And it's a great little blower. It's like a miniature leaf blower, but the airflow isn't concentrated enough to really do an effective job in a computer. Even though it moves a lot of air, it's a good little machine. The air just isn't focused enough to clean the nooks, crannies, meshes, ports, so forth on a computer. And most battery-operated or USB-powered blowers are just pathetic. You can't trust those things. So I got excited when this little 110-volt blower showed up in my Vine list. It looks a lot like the one that Jay's 2 Cents uses, actually. Let's get it unboxed and take a look. Okay, let's see what we got. Use it for 15 minutes one time, and then let it rest for extra 15 minutes. Well, English is not our first language, it seems. But they're clearly trying to say, don't run it for more than 15 minutes, and then give it 15 minutes to cool off. Packaging, I guess it could be better, but that's probably more, how well it was handled during transport, on its trip from China. Pretty typical, not a whole lot. See, now I guess this is our directions. I don't know if there's going to be any more directions inside then. In the back it says, plug it in and put the nozzle on. That's what it says. Note, the power of this product is relatively high when working. We suggest single use time should not exceed 20 minutes. If working time exceeds 20 minutes, the internal motor of the product may directly stop working permanently. It says on the side of the box that using it for 20 minutes or more can permanently damage the motor. I think that's a little bit of exaggeration, but they're trying to protect themselves, I guess. Power cord seems decent length, actually. I think the listing said the power cord is 10 feet, which is not especially long, but I think in most environments where this is intended to be used, 10 feet would be good. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's about 10 feet. Then we have the nozzles. A couple of different size tips. I think this is supposed to be, is that supposed to be round or is that supposed to be oblong? I guess that, no, that didn't get mashed. That's made that way. And here we have a wide tip. Obviously, you can see this one is going to give you the most focused over the air. Smaller area, higher velocity. Nothing else. Yeah, I don't see any documentation. I guess those warnings on the box were the documentation. It's got a decent heft to it, so yeah, this is all motor here. It's not seamless construction, not even intended to look seamless. Got a very pronounced seam through the entire thing, and about 8 or 10 screws on the side holding it together. So it's just a clamshell design. Pretty comfortable grip. It'll probably get tiring on the wrist after a few minutes because it is heavier than it looks, which that's a good thing. And there's where our power cord connects. It is a non-polarized 2-pin universal, just like your toaster probably has. And it does have a filter on the air inlet. That's good, and it can be easily removed for cleaning. It looks like it can be easily lost, which is definitely not a good thing. You don't want this motor sucking up stuff that shouldn't be in there, especially if it's really that powerful. And I see there's a cam lock for the nozzles. Like that. This is probably the one I'm going to want to be getting the most use out of. Not a lot to it. Simple. And if it does its job, it does its job. Let's bring a computer outside and do it, because you never do this indoors. You'll be sorry if you do. Okay, this is my son's really dirty computer. Been on his desk for a few months. So, let's give it a whirl. First time powering this guy on, let's... Whoa! It's got a lot of power. Ow! Okay, so it gets a little hot while it's in use. Should be better there. Before I go on, you should know that you should always hold your fans still with your free hand when you're blowing air through them. Don't just blast air through them and let them spin. That'll wear out the bearings prematurely. I was letting them spin because I had a camera in my free hand, but that's not a good practice. Pretty darn good. It's got a lot more power than I thought. It burns your hand once it gets warmed up.
So the warning about not running it for more than 15 minutes, you probably won't be able to hold it more than 15 minutes. It'll really cook your hand. Overall, I'm pleased. It has a lot of power, and you can generally blow a computer out in 5 minutes or less. I did this one really quick, and this computer was pretty dirty. The places I had to go back and wipe with a rag are the same you'd have to do with any blower or canned air. It's not like that's a shortcoming of this blower or any kind of work you do, and you can go back and Q-tip the whole thing with a paintbrush. This thing gets high praise and a recommendation from me. There is an affiliate link in the description below if you want to get one of your own and not have to buy canned air ever again. Until next time, I'm LitlJay, and life is a gift, so make it big.